corollary. If limit of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn exists, then limit of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n also exists. Proof. If this one exists, then we have to prove this one also exists. So let limit of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn exists. Since it is exist, then it is equal to some real number. Let us take L. Limit of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn is equal to L, let us say. Already we know that if limit of a sequence exists, then limit inferior and limit superior both are equal to the same answer. Then limit inferior of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn is equal to limit superior of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn is equal to L. Now, by the previous theorem, we have, what is the previous theorem says? Limit inferior of modulus of Sn plus 1 is less than or equal to this one is less than or equal to this one, and this one is less than or equal to this one. So I can write that limit inferior of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn is less than or equal to limit inferior of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n less than or equal to limit superior of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is less than or equal to limit superior of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn. And here just now we got, let us take this one as equation number 1. From equation number 1, this one is equal to L, this one is also equal to L. So here what you will get, this implies L is less than or equal to limit inferior modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is less than or equal to limit superior of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is less than or equal to L by equation number 1. Now this inequality holds since L and L both are equal. If these both are equal, then all the terms between this are also equal. So what you will get here, this implies limit inferior of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is equal to limit superior of modulus of n to the power of 1 by n is equal to L. If this one, limit inferior and limit superior both are equal to L, this implies limit of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is equal to L. Therefore limit of this one exists. Therefore limit of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n exists. This is a proof of the corollary. Note, from this corollary we have learned that if limit of modulus of Sn to plus 1 by Sn exists and equals to capital L, then limit of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n also exists. If this one exists, this one also exists. If this value is L, then this value is also L and equals to capital L. That is, if limit of modulus of Sn plus 1 by Sn is equal to L, then limit of modulus of Sn to the power of 1 by n is also equal to L. This is a note we have learned from the corollary. Next, a problem. Prove that limit superior of modulus of Sn is equal to 0 if and only if limit of Sn is equal to 0. If limit superior of modulus of Sn is 0, then we have to prove that limit of Sn is 0. If this one is 0, then we have to prove this one. Solution. Limit superior of modulus of Sn is equal to 0 if and only if limit superior definition, limit supremum of the set modulus of Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. Means this value is equal to 0 if and only if this one is 0. Instead of proving this one, I will prove this one is equal to 0. Now, if Sn is greater than or equal to 0, then modulus of Sn is always Sn. Since modulus of a non-negative is non-negative. So here then now this implies limit supremum of the set modulus of Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. If this one is 0, then limit supremum of the set, what is modulus of Sn in this case, is Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. Equation number 1. If Sn is less than or equal to 0, means Sn is not a positive, then modulus of Sn is nothing but minus Sn. Since Sn is not a negative, less than or equal to 0, then minus Sn is greater than or equal to 0. Then limit supremum of the set modulus of Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. This implies limit supremum of the set modulus of Sn is nothing but minus Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. If I take minus outside, supremum becomes infimum. Minus limit infimum of the set Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. Now I am going to send this minus that side. This implies limit infimum of the set Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0. Let us take this one as equation number 2. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we have limit infimum of the set Sn where n greater than capital N is equal to 0, comma, limit supremum of the set where Sn such that n greater than capital N is equal to 0. If and only if limit infimum of a set is nothing but limit inferior of Sn is equal to 0, comma, limit superior of Sn is equal to 0. If limit inferior and limit superior both are equal, then both are equal to limit of the sequence Sn. Already we have proved a theorem, and that value is equal to common value. Therefore, we have proved the problem. Therefore, limit superior of modulus of Sn is equal to 0 if and only if limit of the sequence Sn is equal to 0. Now, series. In this series, first infinite series. Infinite series. Consider the sequence Sn of partial sum where Sn is equal to am plus 1 plus am plus 2 plus so on till an. That is nothing but this sum can be written as in the summation format, summation k is equal to m to n ak. Already we have learned in the sequence definition that this m may be 0 or maybe 1. It depends on the terms of a sequence, and here most probably we'll start m is equal to 1, most probably. So if you want, you can say if m is equal to 1, then Sn becomes here summation k is equal to 1 to n ak. That is, what is S1? S1 is nothing but k is equal to 1 to 1, that is only one term. S2 summation k is equal to 1 to 2 ak, that is a1 plus a2. S3 summation k is equal to 1 to 3 ak, that is nothing but a1 plus a2 plus a3, so on. Similarly, Sn summation k is equal to 1 to n ak is nothing but a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus so on till an. As I increase the n values, I will increase the terms of this sequence. Therefore, I am going to consider a special sequence of partial sums. Partial means in parts I am going to add. The first term I have added only one term. In the second term of a sequence I have added two terms. In the third term of a sequence I have added three terms. In the nth term of a sequence I have added n terms. So therefore this is a sequence of partial sum. This is a sequence of partial sum. Now next definition. When we can say that an infinite series converges or diverges. The infinite series summation k is equal to m to infinity ak. When I am saying infinite, it has infinite number of terms. It has infinite number of terms. The infinite series is said to converge provided means if it satisfies the condition, if the sequence Sn of partial sum converges to a real number S, that is summation k is equal to m to infinity ak converges if limit of the sequence Sn converges to S, converges, that is summation k is equal to m to infinity ak is equal to S if limit of Sn is equal to S, where what is Sn? Summation k is equal to m to n ak. Here summation k is equal to m to infinity ak is equal to S means limit Sn is equal to S, that is limit n tends to infinity. What is Sn? Summation k is equal to m to n ak is equal to S. It's nothing but here just now we have wrote the terms of a sequence S1, S2, S3, so on. when we can say that this infinite series converges. This infinite series converges means a1 sum of infinite number of terms of this series, a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus so on, an plus so on, an plus 1 so on, all the infinite number of terms if I am adding, after adding, what the answer we are going to get? Is it a finite number or plus infinity or minus infinity? Now this series is said to be converged if the sequence is converging. Means if I take n tends to infinity and the limit of this sequence is some s, as n tends to infinity, the terms of the sequence tends to s, means what are the terms? S1 is equal to a1, s2 is equal to a1 plus a2, s3 is a1 plus a2 plus a3, sn is equal to this one. As n tends to infinity means in the infinite place whatever the term is there, we have added infinite number of terms. Means sn tends to infinite tends to s means the sum of infinite number of terms are tends to s. That's only here I wrote. The infinite series is said to converge if the sequence of its partial sum converts to a real number s. Therefore, this series said to be converge if its sequence of partial sum converges. That is summation n m k is equal to m to infinity a k is s if limit of sn is equal to s. What is sn? Summation k is equal to m to n a k. That is this value is equal to s is nothing but limit sn is equal to s. What is sn? This one. Next definition. A series that does not converge is said to diverge. If a series is not converging, then the series is said to be diverging. Now, next, if summation k is equal to m to infinity ak diverges to plus infinity. If the infinite series diverges to plus infinity, then we write summation k is equal to m to infinity ak is equal to plus infinity, provided means if it is satisfying, if when we can say that the series diverging if its sequence of partial sum is diverges to plus infinity. Next one, if summation k is equal to m to infinity ak diverges to minus infinity, then we write summation k is equal to m to infinity ak is equal to minus infinity, provided limit of sn is equal to minus infinity. Limit of sn is equal to minus infinity. Now note, if the terms an of an infinite series summation an, if the terms an, this is a term an of an infinite series, are all non-negative, means no term of the series is negative, all are non-negative, either greater than 0 or equal to 0, then the partial sum Sn form an, then the sequence of partial sums form an increasing sequence. Sequence of partial sum form an increasing sequence. How I can say? if all the terms of a series are non-negative, means this one is greater than or equal to 0, this one is greater than or equal to 0, this one is greater than or equal to 0, 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 so on. Therefore s1 is greater than or equal to 0. s2, sum of two non-negative is non-negative, therefore a1 plus a2. Maybe if a2 is 0, s1 and s2 both are equal. If a2 is greater than 0, then s2 is greater than s1. Therefore s1 is either less than or equal to s2. Similarly s2 is less than or equal to s3. s3 is less than or equal to s4, so on. Therefore we got an sequence of partial sum forms an increasing sequence if the terms of an infinite series are non-negative. Then the sequence Sn, we know that the increasing sequence, if it is bounded above, therefore converges. If it is not bounded above, therefore it diverges to plus infinity. Therefore the sequence Sn either converges or diverges to plus infinity. If it is bounded, converges. If it is not bounded above, therefore it diverges to plus infinity. If the sequence of partial sum converges or diverges to plus infinity, then the series of non-negative terms also either converges or diverges to plus infinity. So therefore this one I can write, this one I can say that this implies, therefore the series summation an either converges or diverges to plus infinity. Either it will converge or diverge to plus infinity. Next definition. The series summation an is said to converge absolutely or to be absolutely convergent if summation absolute of an converges. This infinite series is said to be converge absolutely or absolutely converges if summation of modulus of an is convergent. Summation modulus of an is convergent. A series of the form summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n. A series of the form summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n for constants a and r. A and r both are constant is called a geometric series. A series of this format is said to be a geometric series. Now, for r not equal to 1, if r is not equal to 1, the partial sum Sn are given by Sn is equal to summation k is equal to 0 to n, start from 0 to n, a into r to the power of k, a into r to the power of k. Now what is this value? This value is nothing but, first if I take k is equal to 0, a plus ar plus ar square plus ar cube plus so on plus a r to the power of n. what is the sum of this one? Is nothing but a into 1 minus r to the power of n plus 1 by 1 minus r. How I am writing Sn is equal to this one is equal to this one? Let us see now. Consider 1 minus r into summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k. This one can be written as summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k minus r into summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k, which is equal to summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k minus summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of, bases are same, powers are added, k plus 1, which is equal to, now I am expanding this one, k is equal to 0, that is ar plus ar square plus so on till a into r to the power of n minus, now I am expanding, k is equal to 0 to n here, ar plus ar square plus so on till a into r to the power of n plus 1. So here what you will get, plus ar minus ar cancel, ar square minus ar square cancel, ar to the power of n, the term before this one will be cancelled. So the remaining terms are a minus ar to the power of n plus 1. From this one I am going to take a common, we will get 1 minus r to the power of n plus 1. Therefore, what is the left hand side? 1 minus r into summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k. That is summation k is equal to 0 to n a into r to the power of k is nothing but a into 1 minus r to the power of n plus 1 by this one I am going to take to the right hand side 1 minus r. If r is not equal to 1, therefore if r is not equal to 1, then Sn, this one is equal to this one. Now if for modulus of r less than 1, that is minus 1 less than r less than 1, if r is not equal to 1, we will get this one. If r lies between minus 1 to 1, then what is limit of Sn? That is limit of, since here r is not equal to 1, I can use Sn as this one, that is a into 1 minus r to the power of n plus 1 by 1 minus r. 1 minus r. This implies, since here limit is on with respect to n, limit here is with respect to n, this is constant, 1 minus r is constant, and here n is only with r. So here what you will get here, a by 1 minus r into limit n tends to infinity 1 minus r to the power of n plus 1. This one can be written as a into 1 minus r into 1 minus limit n tends to infinity r to the power of n plus 1. Since limit is with respect to n, 1 has no n. Since already we have proved that limit r to the power of n plus 1 is equal to 0 if modulus of r is less than 1. So this value becomes 0. A by 1 minus r into 1 minus 0, which is equal to a by 1 minus r. Therefore, limit of Sn is equal to this one, that is nothing but summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n is equal to a by 1 minus r if modulus of r value is less than 1. Modulus of r value is less than 1. If a is equal to 0, then summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n becomes directly a 0. Now if a is not equal to 0 and modulus of r is greater than or equal to 1. If a is equal to 0, directly this summation becomes 0. If a is not equal to 0 and modulus of r is less than 1, then this infinite series is a by 1 minus r. If modulus of r greater than or equal to 1, then the sequence a into r to the power of n does not converges to 0. Does not converges to 0. Since a is not equal to 0 and modulus of r is greater than or equal to 1, then this sequence does not converges to 0. Then summation a into r to the power of n diverges. This one I will prove a later. This one I am going to prove later. If a is not equal to 0 and modulus of r is greater than or equal to 1, then this series diverges. If modulus of r is less than 1, then this summation is nothing but a by 1 minus r. If a is equal to 0, directly we will get a series is equal to 0. Now let us discuss a problem. Summation n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 by 3 to the power of n. What is the value of this infinite series? If I expand, we will get minus 1 by 3 to the power of 2 plus minus 1 by 3 to the power of 3 plus so on. That is nothing but 1 by 9 minus 1 by 27 plus 1 by 81 minus 1 by 243 plus so on. From this one I can take common 1 by 9 and we will get here 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 9 minus 1 by 27 plus so on. This one I can write as 1 by 9 summation n is equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 by 3 whole to the power of. If I take n is equal to 0, I will get 1. N is equal to 1, I will get minus 1 by 3. So on. Which is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 9 into minus 1 by 3 whole to the power of n. It is in the form of summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n. Here what is a is equal to 1 by 9 and what is r is equal to 1 by 3. This implies what is modulus of r, that is modulus of 1 by 3. Modulus of 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 is 1 by 3, which is strictly less than 1. Now if modulus of r is less than 1, then summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a into r to the power of n is nothing but a by 1 minus r. Since here we got modulus of r is less than 1, then this value, that is this one, is nothing but this one. Summation n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 by 3 whole to the power of n is nothing but summation 1 by 9 minus 1 by 3 to the power of n. 0 to infinity is nothing but a is 1 by 9 by 1 minus of minus 1 by 3. 1 minus of minus 1 by 3. So this one can be written as, which is equal to 1 by 9 by 1 plus 1 by 3, which is equal to 1 by 9 by 4 by 3. 3 ones are 3 3s are. which is equal to 1 by 3 by 4, which is nothing but 1 by 12. Therefore, summation n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 by 3 whole to the power of n is equal to 1 by 12. Means if I add this infinite number of terms in this format, that answer is going very near to 1 by 12. Is going very near to 1 by 12. Now note, consider a fixed positive real number p, that is p is strictly greater than 0. Then summation n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n to the power of p converges if and only if p greater than 1. I am going to use this here, but I am going to prove this one later. This is a proof like the above geometric series. This is said to be p test. And before earlier, just now we have learned a geometric series. That one is said to be a g test. This one is a p test. Summation n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n to the power of p converges if and only if this p value is greater than 1. Here n starts from 1. If n is equal to 0, then 1 by 0 is undefined. So here the summation starts depend on the terms of a series.